All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Ephraim. Today's date is December 10th, 2022. And I'm saying Shalom, everyone. Welcome to all my new subscribers and new and old alike. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell and select all so you'll be notified every time I upload a new presentation. And I still recommend just coming to the channel daily and not relying totally on YouTube for those notifications. All right. But I appreciate everybody, commenting and liking the videos and sharing them and subscribing. Got a whole lot of new subscribers, man. So welcome to everyone, and I appreciate you all. So what I wanted to bring forth, I want to talk about the Ark of the Covenant. Now, the Ark of the Covenant is arguably the holiest of all any relics that the Israelites could, have had. I mean, because the Ark of the Covenant essentially uh, holds the tablets of the Ten Commandments, literally written by the finger of the Most High, Ahaya, right? And, let me just preface by saying this. I really do feel that the Most High allows us to find, clues, relics of things from then, from back in those days, this and that. You know, um, there's a lot of proof of the Bible, right? But here's what we face. We face the science, so-called scientist community that does not believe in God, so they don't have, they're the detractors of these archaeological evidence we may find or whatever the case may be. And the minute someone finds something, you got a group of people trying to denounce it or say that it's not true or you know and uh you can't rule out our people doing that either, because we do that too. And so, I mean, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I guess, you believe or you don't, right? Now, the Ethiopians have claimed for a long time that they actually have the Ark of the Covenant, right? It's supposedly under, armed guard and all this kind of stuff. But I'm gonna tell you why I call cap on that. Um, because I don't believe, knowing what I know of the Most High God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I don't believe He would allow something like that to fall into the hands of heathens or non-Israelites. And and I mean, well, let me kind of take that back a little bit. Some of the converts, if they converted to, well, wait a minute, no, because if they're converts, they're still not, and they practice in Judaism. Judaism is not what the Israelites practice. So I don't know, technically, are they sojourning if they're practicing Judaism and not, standing with the true children of Israel? I would have to say no. So, given that, if you're not taking up the law, statutes, and commandments exactly as given to the children of Israel, I don't believe that qualifies you as a sojourner. You're sojourning, but you're not sojourning with us, right? And so anyway, I just don't believe he would allow that to happen. And so we're gonna get into it. The Ark of the Covenant, where is it? Who really has it, right? Um, is it possible that the Ethiopians could have it? Or like I said before, is that just cap? I call cap, but let's get it. Okay, the Ark of the Covenant is believed to be the most sacred relic of the Israelites and is described as a wooden chest covered in pure gold with an elaborately designed lid called the mercy seat. According to the book of Exodus, the Ark contained the two stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. According to the book of Hebrews, it also contained Aaron's rod and a pot of manna. The biblical account relates that approximately 1 year after the Israelites' exodus from Egypt, the ark was created according to the pattern given to Moses by the Most High God of Israel when the Israelites were encamped at the foot of Mount Sinai. Thereafter, the gold-plated acacia chest was carried by its slaves by the Levites approximately 2,000 cubits 800 meters, 2,600 feet, in advance of the people went on the march. God spoke with Moses from between the two cherubim on the ark's cover. Now, according to the book of Exodus, the Most High instructed Moses to build the ark during his 40-day stay upon Mount Sinai. And we know that was a time when, the children of Israel say Moses, deserted them. He wasn't coming back. And they started with the madness of worshiping the calves and all that. That was during that time period, forget that the Most High just parted the Red Sea for them. And they saw these glorious, wonderful things the Most High did. And just that quick, they lost faith and they was worshiping calves. 40 days and 40 nights at Mount Sinai. He was shown the pattern for the tabernacle and furnishings of the ark and told that it would be made of shittim wood, also known as acacia wood, to house the tablets of stone. Moses instructed Bezalel and Aholiab to construct the ark. The book of Exodus gives detailed instructions on how the ark was to be constructed. Right? Now, according to the biblical narrative, a few years later, the elders of Israel decided to take the ark out into the battlefield to assist them against the Philistines. And real quick, Philistines is important to note that is how we got the name Palestine for Judea today, because the so-called emperor wanted it was a cross between the Philistines and I forgot who were the arch enemies of the Israelites, and it combined those two names. That's why it's called Palestine today, and Philistine is a part of that. So anyway, it says, having recently been defeated at the Battle of Ebenezer, they were again heavily defeated with the loss of 30,000 men. The ark was captured by the Philistines, and Penepheus were killed, and Hopni. The news of his capture was at once taken to Shiloh by a messenger with his clothes rent and with earth upon his head. The old priest Eli fell dead when he heard it, and his daughter-in-law, bearing a son at the time, the news of the ark's capture was received, and named Ishabad, explained as the glory has departed Israel in reference to the loss of the ark. Ishabad's mother died at his birth. The Philistines took the ark to several places in their country, and at each place misfortune befell them. At Ashdod, it was placed in the temple of Dagon. The next morning, Dagon was found prostrate, bowed down before it, and on being restored to his place, he was on the following morning again found prostrate and broken. The people of Ashdod were smitten with tumors. A plague of rodents was sent over the land. This may have been the bubonic plague. The affliction of tumors was also visited upon the people of Gath and Ekron, whether the ark was successfully removed. After the ark had been among them for 7 months, the Philistines, on the advice of their diviners, returned it to the Israelites, accompanying in return with an offering consisting of golden images of the tumors and mice wherewith they had been afflicted. The ark was set up in the field of Joshua, the Beth-Shemite, and the Beth-Shemites offered sacrifices and burnt offerings. Out of curiosity, the men of Beth-Shemesh gazed at the ark, and as a punishment, 70 of them, it says 70 of them, 50,070 in some translations, were struck down by the Lord. The Beth-Shemites sent to Kijath Jearim or Baal Judah to have the ark removed, and it was taken to the house of Abinadab, whose son Eleazar was sanctified to keep it. Kirjath Jearim remained the abode of the ark for 20 years. Under Saul, the ark was with the army before he first met the Philistines, but the king was too impatient to consult it before engaging in battle. In 1 Chronicles 13:3, it stated that the people were not accustomed to consulting the ark in the days of Saul. In the biblical narrative, at the beginning of his reign over the united monarchy, King David removed the ark from Kirjath Jearim, and amid great rejoicing. On the way to Zion, Uzzah, one of the drivers of the cart that carried the ark, put out his hands to steady the ark and was struck dead by God for touching it. The place was subsequently named Perez Uzzah, literally outburst against Uzzah. As a result, David, in fear, carried the ark inside into the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite, instead of carrying it on to Zion, and it stayed there for 3 months. Ark of the Covenant thing wouldn't be messed with. Man, can you imagine that? Something written by the hand of God? Like, oh my God. Like, man. On hearing that God had blessed Obed-Edom because of the presence of the ark in his house, David had the ark brought to Zion by the Levites, while he himself, girded with a linen ephod, danced before the Lord with all his might, and in the sight of the public gathered in Jerusalem, a performance which caused him to be scornfully rebuked by his first wife, Saul's daughter, Michal. In Zion, David put the ark in the tent that he had prepared for it, offered sacrifices, distributed food, and blessed the people in his own household. David used the tent as a personal place of prayer. The Levites were appointed to minister before the ark. David's plan of building a temple for the ark was stopped on the advice of the prophet Nathan. The ark was with the army during the siege of Rabbah, and when David fled from Jerusalem at the time of Absalom's conspiracy, the ark was carried along with him until he ordered Zadok, the priest, to return it to Jerusalem. Now, according to the biblical narrative, the Abiathar was dismissed from the priesthood by King Solomon for having taken part in Adonijah's conspiracy against David. His life was spared because he had formerly borne the ark. Solomon worshipped before the ark after his dream in which God promised him wisdom. During the construction of Solomon's temple, a special inner room named Kadesh HaKadashim was prepared to receive the ark, and when the temple was dedicated, the ark containing the original tablets of the Ten Commandments was placed therein. When the priest emerged from the holy place after placing the ark there, the temple was filled with a cloud. The glory of the Lord had filled the house of the Lord. When Solomon married Pharaoh's daughter, he caused her to dwell in a house outside Zion, as Zion was consecrated because it contained the ark. King Josiah also had the ark returned to the temple, from which it appears to have been removed by one of his predecessors, 2 Chronicles 33 and 34, and 2 Kings 21 through 23. All right. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so the reason, given what I just shared with you all up to this point, given definitely how much power the Ark of the Covenant held, and just how sacred that really is and was, there's no way, knowing what I know of the Most High, there's no way He would allow that to get in the hands of non-Israelites. I just don't believe that. And so that's why I call Cap with the Ethiopians. Not getting into it, about them, whatever the case may be. But number one, they're Hamites, they're they're Cushites, they're converts. There's no way that's in the hand of them. But I'm gonna tell you what I believe. What I believe about the Ark of the Covenant and where it's at is in Second Maccabees. And this is what Second Maccabees says. Second Maccabees, and that's Maccabees, as in Sam, says, the records show that it was the prophet Jeremiah who, prompted by a divine message, gave orders that the tent of meeting and the ark should go with him. Then he went away to the mountain from the top of which Moses saw God's promised land. When he reached the mountain, Jeremiah found a cave dwelling. He carried the tent, the ark, and the incense altar into it, then blocked up the entrance. Some of his companions came to mark out the way, but were unable to find it. When Jeremiah learned of this, he reprimanded them. He said, quote, the place shall remain unknown, he said, until God, the Most High Yahweh, finally gathers his people together and shows mercy to them. The Lord will bring these things to light again. And the glory of the Lord will appear with the cloud, as it was seen both in the time of Moses and when Solomon prayed that the shrine might be worthily consecrated. And it says the mountain from the top of which Moses saw God's promised land would be Mount Nebo, located in what is now Jordan. So that's what I believe happened, and that's where I believe where the Ark of the Covenant is right now. I believe it's in some obscure cave somewhere, covered up, and it will not be revealed until the Most High gathers us back up, and we know that that's going to happen. So we will not see the covenant, the Ark of the Covenant again, until the Most High gathers His people back up. And I believe that what the second book of Maccabees said. All right. So that being said, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the presentation. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. And until next time, this is Dr. Ephraim signing off, saying Shalom, elect.